Hello guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know. Guys, can you see me? Okay, fine. Means I think you can see me now. Okay, fine. So good. Good morning, guys. Cool. Yeah, I'm a little bit late because I was not late. Maybe 1 minute might be. Hello, Mayur. Krishna is also here. Anish is here. Swarali is here. Bokom is here. Tuve is also here. Quite good. Really. Good morning, everyone. Tina is also here. Wow. So we have more people here today with us. That's cool. Good morning, Sudhir. Good morning. Okay, fine. So what we will do, as usual, we will start our day with some easy tactics, and then we will move to our topic of the day. Okay. So are you ready to solve some tactics today? Let me know. Okay, let's start it and then see. So this is white to play. What will you play? I'll wait for your answer. Okay. Thank you, Tuve, for thanking everyone. Tuve is very sweet. He's my, like you can say, the manager. And guys, if you don't know, Tuve is very young. He's just 9 years old, and still he enjoys doing all these things. I'm happy. He's my he's my youngest student, and he's very sweet. Okay, Queen F6 is suggested by. Here you want to play Queen to the F6, Anish. But I think so. Playing Queen F6, got it. Will type out after 15 seconds. Queen F6. Okay, two people, two people have talked about. Yeah, Queen F6 is actually a bad move. Mayur is right because if you play Queen to the F6 here in this position, then obviously I'll just capture it. Then you will capture. I'll play King to the E7, and in that case, even if you capture my Queen, if you see in the end there are same number of pieces on the board, so it is not that good. First of all, yes, Sriraj, Tina, you're right. First of all, you should give a check with the knight so that we will be attacking two pieces. And once we attack, then at that time we will be attacking the rook on h8 plus the knight on h6. So that's why we can win a piece in that case. Okay. Always pay attention to what is undefended in the position. Because if you go a little bit behind in this stage, in the starting position, you will understand that the knight on h6 is undefended and the rook on h8 is undefended. It's very, very important. And all the tactics usually start with check, capture, or you can give some kind of a threat. Okay. So let's move to the next one and find out what to do. Here in this position, black is on the move, and you can say that it is a clear cut. Like you can see, there is a background problem is there. So it's just that how will you take care of that thing? But you also should see that yes, yeah, you cannot take. And as I was mentioning in the previous tactic, always look out for the undefended pieces. So if you see in this position the rook on a3 is undefended and our queen is being attacked, our rook is also there which is attacked. Yes, correct. Yes, queen into e2 is you need to play, and after that we will capture the rook on a3. Very good, very good. Yes, Krishna, I will check it out definitely. Thank you for sending me the email. Aro, you are also yes. Aro is also here. Yeah, Mayur, you need to see the pieces which are on the corner of the board. It happens like that. Many a times we just focus on one thing that queen side we are attacking or the king side we are attacking, and we don't see what is happening on the other side of the board. So, so we need to see full board, I will say. Bishop into b8 is suggested. Shriraj is suggesting knight to the d6. Okay, guys, which move should you play? I Aro's word is saying I missed you yesterday for some reason. Or did you miss the session for some reason? What do you mean? Okay, now this bishop is like capturing here, and white. Many people like I already got one, two, three. Both are good. Oh, you missed my session. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Aro. You can always watch the session again because I always upload it. So you can always watch it at any time. Even if you don't watch it in the live stream, you can watch it after some time. Okay. So guys, yes, it seems to be correct that you can capture the rook on b8. Oh, Sudhir, thank you, thank you. So should I capture here? But that is a big mistake, right? Okay, find out a better move. Actually, knight to the d6 is much better because in that case we will be attacking queen to the f7 as well as the knight into b7. Both the things are there. That's why it is very important to play knight to the d6. Thing is that you will be checkmating your opponent's king or you will be winning the queen. That's why knight d6 should be played here in this position. Okay. So I hope that you understood. Okay, guys. Two more puzzles and we will talk about today's topic. Okay. Last two puzzles for today and then we will see. So what will you play here? This is black to play. It seems to me that there are many things which are happening around black skin. So black needs to be a little bit careful in this position. And this rook is also there, and the white pieces are there. So you need to be very precise in this position. What will you play? Isn't it little bit difficult? Is it difficult for you? Yeah, it seems to me difficult. Like knight f4, queen f4, gf is suggested by two-way suggesting g5. Shivendra, hi Shivendra. Yeah, you are little bit. Okay, okay. Anish also he's suggesting. Anish is suggesting same thing again. Okay, okay, possible. See, whatever you are going to suggest me, I'm going to play it, and then we will think about it. Might be the way to go. Queen f5, g into f5. Okay, these are the moves which you are suggesting me. The most probably you guys have suggested knight into f4 in this case, and if queen into f4 is played, then g into f5 you are suggesting. But you should also pay attention to one thing, that the rook can come on this square and it is going to give you a check. And after that, what will you do? So should I play knight into f4 and then we will check it out whether it is correct or not? Because it seems very natural to capture the piece which is capturing, right? But knight into f4 also has one thing, that he is going to play queen into f6 also. That is also one of the things which he can play. Okay, so I feel knight into f4 is there, but white has chances to play queen into f6, and then he will giving us some kind of a check. The main thing is that g5 is suggested by Purvia. Okay, fine. After g5, what will happen? After g5, I feel like this check is also coming. Our knight is hanging, otherwise I would long castle. Ah, you will long castle in this case. Okay. Okay, guys, today I will not give you any hints. Let's see what happens, whatever you play. G5, Queen H5, Knight, Pin is there, so that is also not so good. Okay, so there are two main options in this position, it seems to me like that. If you capture the knight or if you capture the bishop on here, because you need to take care of the e1 thing. E1, rook e1, check. So let's see, first say what happens if we play this move. It seems to me that wrong. Obviously, it is wrong. As I was saying, rook e1 is also coming and the queen f6 is also coming. So knight f4 is not a good move. Okay. So as you cannot play that move, another move which you suggested, like you can play capture here, long castle, because it's a nice example to show that the castling cannot be done under check or under check path. But in this case, it is possible. Yeah, it is possible in this case, definitely. Another move was suggested, like we will capture the knight here and we can play g5 in that case. So let's check it out, all these moves, and then we will figure it out. And actually, actually, Mayur, uh, Mayur, the thing is that in this case, if you castle also, long castle also, that might be good, because the thing is that even if he captures your knight here, you can play g5 on the next move, and then we'll be attacking the bishop as well as the queen in that case, and we will recover the piece very nicely. Because let's see, if you castle in this position, he will capture here, but yeah, with the long castle, it's a mate in one. Yes, this check is also here. No, but he is coming here, but it is a difficult position. Obviously, that we cannot play something which is very very obvious. So let's figure out other moves. Just check is there. Yes. So let's see what happens if we play this move. If we capture this move, he will give us a check first of all. And now we have two options. First of all, we can play this move, or second option is we can play this move. I feel like if you play this move, then he will capture, and then rook will also capture, and he will give us a check. and then we can move to the d8 square, and there is no check in that case. But again, he can play rook into d5. So maybe knight to the e3 we can play, but in that case he will capture on e3, and then we will not be able to capture because our queen is hanging. And the last thing which we can do, see, in chess, whenever your opponent gives you a check, you can do three things. First of all, you can capture the piece which is giving you a check. Another thing is that you can move your king, or you means between the piece which is giving you a check and your king. Guys, are you able to hear me? I'm back, I think. I'm back, right? There is some, don't worry. Yeah, I think I'm back. Yes, okay. So here, King D8 is also one of the moves which you can play. Okay, but let's figure it out. Yes, okay, fine. And bishop can, as I was mentioning, we can put the piece between here, or you can here, bishop can also come here, and we can put the knights also. So let's figure out what happens if we play bishop to the, yes, and then we play this move, and finally in this position we need to take care of this. Maybe I think here the queen should come on this square, and we should defend the position perfectly. Yeah, and okay, this is going to be a difficult situation, but maybe we can run away, and then we will know. Okay, this was a very difficult puzzle, I will say. That's why it took a lot of time for us. So let's start with our today's topic. That topic is related to the, but it's okay. Start with our today's topic that is related to the weaknesses. So in my evening stream, I even told everyone that what is weakness. Weakness, usually it happens like that. That okay. Sometimes what happens, like we can see that opponent has a weak pawn, or maybe his piece is hanging, or maybe his king side is weak. Maybe he might be having some of his pieces which are hanging, or there might be some weaknesses which are not visible directly, like he might be having some open file will be there, and we can take care of the open file, and it will give us a lot of advantage, because as I say that we should play with all our pieces, right? So if you get a chance to break through in your opponent's camp by any means, then it will be very very good for us. So I'll just tell you that today's session will be a little bit difficult. It will not be the same way we always do. It is not difficult. Okay. Today we are going to see some positional concept, because whenever it comes to the weaknesses, there is a positional concept in it, like how to take advantage of your opponent's small weaknesses. So I'll show you only two games today. I'll not show you many games, but both the games will be a little bit long. But I hope that you will have patience, and will watch these games with me. So let's start with today's game. In this game, white player was a very famous player at that time. In 1895, this game was played. His name was Pillsbury. He started with d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight to the f6. See, by playing d4, d5, sorry, not this move. By playing d4, d5, c4, e6, and knight c3, knight f6, these moves are played. Both the players, as I mentioned previously, are trying to control the center with the pawns as well as the pieces. That is very important in any opening. And another thing is that they are trying to develop their pieces as quickly as possible, right? Okay. So here, here I will ask you, Guys, am I there with you or I went offline? Am I still there? There is some problem. It seems to me like that. Please be patient, okay? There is some problem I know with the internet today. Sorry for it. So here, what will you play in this position? What will you play here in this position? Mantrala is also here. Okay. So we should develop pieces on each and every move. That's what White did. He played bishop to the g5, pinning this knight on this diagonal because knight is sitting behind this queen. So he played bishop to the g5. Black played bishop to the e7, unpinning the knight here in this. Okay. So white played another move that will develop a piece, knight to the f3. On each and every move, you should try to develop a new piece in the game. So here black played b6 because he wanted to develop this bishop. So he decided to develop the bishop on this a8 to b a8 to h1 diagonal. Okay, so white played e3 move so that he can develop the bishop on f1. Every time I'm repeating this thing again and again so that you will always remember that develop a piece on each and every move. Okay, bishop to the b7 was played. Okay, now my question for you is like, what will you play? Let's see how many moves you will guess correctly from white side. Bishop d3 is suggested by Mantrala. Well, bishop d3 is definitely a possibility here. Okay, good. Any other move suggestion? Castle king side. Bishop d3 by Tuve also. Aravi suggesting rook c1. Okay, another move I got from Mandala. Is there any other move? Queen c2 is suggested by Mandala. C into d5 by Anish. Okay. See guys, I will tell you in this position there is no only one accurate move because this is the opening phase and there are many possibilities in this position. Whatever the there are many possibilities and it depends upon your choice, but the thing is that we always need to find out a way in which our pieces will be coordinated in a good way. Okay, whenever we might be having more possibilities but we should find out the best moves for us. Okay, center and then bishop d3 is suggested. Yeah, that is also there. Otherwise you can also play rook to the c1 in this position and wait for your opponent because your opponent was threatening d into c4, right? So in this position, if you play bishop to the d3, then your opponent will play d into c4. Then you again have to move the bishop, right? So if you are going to move the bishop anyhow, then why not wait for one move at least and play rook to the c1? That makes sense because if your opponent captures here, then you will save one move. Like the same position will be there, but you will be having one extra piece which is developed. Okay, so think like this logically. Like if your opponent might be going to play some move, then wait for it. Your piece might come in the game with the some tempo, you can say. Okay, yeah, c into d5 is also a very nice move in this position. I will say c into d5 is perfectly possible. There is nothing wrong with the c into d5, but rook c1 is also a good move. In chess opening, there are no blunders or anything. It all depends upon your choice of play. Okay. Yes, Anish. Yes. Yes, it's perfectly. It is depends upon your choice of play, like how you like to play the positions. So white player played rook to the c1 because he wants to open up the way. He wants to open up the position in a good way. That's why he played rook to the c1 in this position. Now black played d into c4, bishop into c4, and then rook to knight bd7. One thing is that by playing d into c4, black has opened up his bishop, correct? but it has given white also the open file on the C file. Okay, because the pawn on C7 will be a weakness in coming future, or if the pawn is also opened up, or if the file is opened up, then white will be much more ready to take care of the C file. That is also one of the good moves in this thing. So white played castles in this position, black also castled, and now here white played queen to the E2. Okay, okay, guys, 1 second. Okay, I am getting some call from the delivery guy. 1 minute. Okay, just 1 minute. Hello. हा हा तुम्ही वरती वरती ठेवून द्या माझ्या घराजवळ मीटिंग मध्ये आहे मी सध्या कनेक्ट नाही करू शकत घराजवळ ठेवून द्या तुम्ही म्हणजे दरवाजाजवळ वरती ठीक आहे थँक्यू okay guys I got some parcel as usual okay thanks for the patience so here black played knight to the d5 and white played bishop into e7 queen into e7 then knight into d5 was happened and then e into d5 after all these things queen d3 instead of queen to the e2 is your suggestion. Maybe, but usually queen is well placed on the e2 square, not on the d3 square. Yeah, delivery guys are always coming at this time only. Yeah, maybe we should give this opening. Yesterday also it happened. And one more thing which did not happen in this time, electricity is still there. It is not, we are not having a session in that. Okay, yeah, by like in this by capturing all these things, what has happened is like White has opened up the C file for himself, right? The C7 is a slight weakness in this position, and the bishop on B7 is little bit restricted. Okay, so White tried to take advantage of this thing. He played bishop to the. Okay, I'm still laughing because of the thing which happened. You guys are very funny. Okay, queen d6 was played by black pieces here. Then white decided to take advantage of the c file by building up his rooks, or you can say that doubling the rooks on the c file. So he first of all played rook to the c2 as whenever it's possible for us. Okay, whenever it is possible for us, if you get the open file or semi open file, in that case we should try to bring two pieces, or like that you should try to bring two rooks on that file. Okay. Okay, the thing which you are asking me in this position, like queen e2, why it is better? Because most probably we might be needing this queen on this diagonal, right? Because bishop is also there, and this bishop, which is good, if it's for necessary, we can play bishop to the a6 and exchange the bishop on b7. So that's why queen is there. Another thing is that if in future, if you want to play e4, then the queen on e2 will be much more better than anywhere else. And another thing is that by playing queen to the e2, we are connecting the rooks. But if you play queen to the d3, then at some point, if you want to come back with your bishop, then you will not be able to come back. So that's why we should play queen to the e2, making all the possibilities open. And queen e2 is a very safe place also. And another thing which is there, the bishop on b7 was attacking the f3 knight. Okay, and we should be always in contact with the f3 knight, because if you play queen d3 at any point, black can play bishop into f3, and after g into f3 the pawns will be doubled. So that is not something which is good for us. Okay. Okay, is it clear to you? I hope it is clear to you. So there are bunch of like exchanges happen, and they have reached this position. And here, as I mentioned, white might get the chance to take advantage of the c file. So he played rook to the c2 with the idea of playing rook f c1 in this case on the next move. So black played c6, attacking the bishop on b5. One thing is that if black tries, okay, if black tries to play c5 in this position, trying to get rid of his weakness on the c7 square, then it will not be good for black. Can you find out a way in which you can take advantage of this c5 move? C5 move is not that good. Okay. Yes. What will you play in this case? Uh, sh- well, Shiraj, rooks are much more better. Like whenever you are attacking something, let's suppose instead of rook to the c2, if you play queens to the c2, and if you try to attack the c7 pawn, then your opponent can just defend it with the rook, and you will never be able to put pressure on the c file because your queen is in front of your rook. Usually whenever you are putting, like it is like pieces like this on the same file, major pieces, your in major pieces also your rook should be in front of the queen, not the queen should be. Queen should be behind the rooks, because if you are attacking some weakness, you should be at least able to give the sacrifice if you want to. So rooks should be doubled, not the queen and the rook. Okay. Okay. C5, you have suggested move bishop into d7 in that case, and queen into d7 and d into c5. Yes, yes, correct, guys. C5 will give us a pawn after bishop into d7, queen into d7, d into c5, and white will be winning the pawn after these moves. Absolutely right about this thing. Okay, so black played c6 in this case. Bishop went back, and then he brought the knight to the f6 square. And now, as I mentioned, we should double the rooks on the c file. There is some weakness on the c file, so we are going to take care of that thing. And slowly and gradually, we will see how we will be doing it. So black played rook a at here, and he defended the pawn on c6. As we can see, the pawn on c6 is a weakness, and the b7 bishop is actually supporting the pawn on c6. Okay, so whenever we are attacking something, okay, you should see how many attackers we have and how many defenders our opponent has. And in this case, this bishop on b7 is actually doing a very great job of covering the weaknesses in this case. So here what we should be doing is, like, we should try to exchange our opponent's defenders. In this case, the bishop on b7 is the main defender. So how will you exchange this bishop on b7? We should play bishop to the a6, and we should try to exchange this bishop, because once you exchange the bishop with bishop into a6, queen into a6, we will be again attacking the pawn on a7, and c6 pawn's defender is also gone. Means one defender is less. Another thing is that we can put more pressure on this c6 pawn in the future by the move knight to the e5, and then we will be attacking the pawn on c6 in that case. So black played rook to the c7, defending against the queen into a7 threat, and he is also supporting this pawn. Now how will you put more pressure on the c6 pawn? Which move will you play? Let's figure it out this thing. Guys, tell me, what will you play in this case? Yes, knight a6, knight a6, yeah, knight, sorry, knight a6, no, knight e5, bishop a6 we have already played. I think you guys are little bit behind, maybe, or maybe I don't know. Please refresh your page, guys, if it you are behind the in the stream. Knight e5 we should be playing because we should attack the c6 weakness in this case, and we are putting more pressure with this two rooks. And here in this case, what happened is like black thought, okay, I need to get rid of the weakness, and he played c5 move in this case. But c5 is actually a bad move. Can you find out a way to take advantage of c5 move? It is a tactical mistake, I will tell you. And whenever there is a tactical mistake, we should think about checks, captures, threats, and undefended pieces. So, what will you do? Yes, look into c5 because you cannot capture with the pawn. Okay, if you capture with the pawn, then you will lose the queen on d6 because the queen on d6 is undefended, and there was some discovered, or you can say the X-ray attack on the d6 square. So if we play rook into c5, we can play rook into c5, and in that case, we will be pawn up. Yes, queen is there in that case. But another thing which I would like to ask you, let's suppose black did not play this move of c5. c5 is definitely a bad move. So instead of that, if he tries to support the pawn with rook to the c8, what will you play in this case? Then what will you play? Because now we are attacking the c6 pawn with 1, 2, and 3 pieces. He is defending the c6 pawn with 1, 2, and 3 pieces. So you can say that the equal number of defenders are there and equal number of attackers are there. Okay, Tuvia has suggested queen to the a4, possible. Sudhir is also suggesting queen to the a4. Shri Raj has suggested knight into c6. Well, that is something new. He's suggesting knight into c6. Okay, Sriraj, the move which you are suggesting, can you give me the complete variation? Because knight into c6 seems to be that if you capture here, then I will just capture here. And after that, you need to find out what is happening. Because if I capture here, again capture here, and then in this case, black will be piece up. But there should be a good move in your calculation. I'm not saying knight into c6 is bad. Knight into c6 is actually a good move, but you need to tell me the complete variation. Please tell me the complete variation so that, and guys, you also think what is happening after knight to the c6. Yes, correct. Anish, Krishna, you are right about this thing. In this case, we should be playing. Yes, you are absolutely right. This case is all about the back rank problems, and also, yes, then queen into c8. Yes, correct. You are absolutely right. Yes, background problems are there, and we are having lots of pressure on the c file. That is the main thing. And the game, why I wanted to show is that this game is all about the weakness of one thing, that is the c file weakness. And how to take care of, or how to take advantage of this thing is like we need to put pressure, we need to keep attacking on our opponent's weakness. And here knight into c6 is a good move because after rook into c6, we have multiple ways to win this position. We can play queen into c8. This is the best move, obviously. If he captures back, then we can play rook into c8, and he doesn't have any other move to play. He has only one move, that is queen to the f8, and we will play rook into f8, king into f8. And in this case, we can see that the rook is there from our side, and opponent will be having the knight. So obviously, we are having advantage because we have the rook. Rook is much more powerful than the knight. We can always say this thing also, that white is exchange, right? Yes, Mayur, you are absolutely right. Here you can play rook to the c8 or rook c7. This position should be winning for us because we are pawn up also in this case, right? White has extra pawn in this case, plus he has extra material also, you can say, in terms of like major pieces there. So obviously in this case queen into c8 is the best move. And this move, if you see queen into c8, it is also called as the removing the defender. Okay, yes, to be you are right. Removing the defender is there and taking care of the like taking advantage of your opponent weakness which is there on the back rank. So here he did not play rook to the c8, but he played c5. But this also did not help him because you already told me rook into c5 is a good move. And after rook into c5, white is pawn up. And his task is also very easy now. He is pawn up plus he has the control of the c file, and it is a very, very big thing. I will tell you one thing, that whenever it is possible, rook should be placed on the open files, bishop should be placed on the open diagonals, and the knights, okay, the knights should be posted on the outpost square. Outpost means what? Like this, in the central squares knights should be posted with the support of some pawn. They should be posted on the section. Like outpost means usually on chessboard we consider that white has four lines, or the 4 5 something like that you can say, and black has these 4 lines, okay, 4 ranks for him. So whenever our knight goes into the fifth rank, or if you can place it into your opponent's camp, the knight will become stronger, because the knight sitting on e5 is very strong because it is attacking on this 4 square which are there in our opponent's camp. So that's why rook belongs to the open files, bishop belongs to the diagonals, and knight belongs to the outpost. Okay, will you remember this thing? I hope you will remember. It will be very useful for you. Okay, I will ask you about this question after some time. Okay, octopus knight, definitely yes. So knight to the d7 is played by black here in this position. The rook is being attacked because knight is going to be capturing here, and knight is also capturing the e5 knight. So sir, so here in this position, how will you defend your position? You need to be very precise with your rook's move because your rook is being attacked. So where will you place your rook? Rook to the c6. Yes, because if you place your rook, knight into d7 is also a possibility. I will not deny this thing, because if you want to simplify the position, then you can just play knight into d7, queen into d7, and you will go back to the c1 square. I will consider this move also good, because you will be you will be pawn up in this position because you have already one extra pawn, plus you have the control of the c5. So there is nothing wrong with knight to the d7. Okay, but I will prefer to keep the pieces on the board. Okay, that's why rook c6 is much more better, because there is a threat in this move. By playing rook to the c6, you can see one thing: the knight on d7 is being supported by the queen on d6. Correct? This is the this is the very important point. The knight on d7 is being supported by the queen on d6, and if the defender of the knight is removed from this square, then the knight on d7 will be lost. Okay, so how will you support the knight on d7? You have only one square by which you can keep the support of the knight, and that square is queen to the e7. Correct? Now in this case you are supporting the knight. But even if you are supporting the knight, can you find out a way to attack the knight here? Can you tell me what will you play here from white side? Yes, rook to the c7, queen b7. Okay, both the moves are quite good, because see, in this position, whichever piece you put here, queen b7 or rook c7, I will say that the knight on d7 cannot really move. But queen b7 is not that accurate, because maybe your opponent can give up the queen and he will capture the knight as well as the rook. But I will suggest rook to the c7 much better, because the knight will not move in this case because there is this indirect attack on the queen on e7, and the knight on d7 will be pinned. So he needs to give support to this knight. He can give support with only queen to the rook to the d8 in this case. Yeah, queen b4 is also coming because we have this back rank checkmate problems. Yes, correct. Rook c7 is much better. You are right about this, Siraj. So here again, you need to find out a way to win material. So what will you play? Because when our queen is there on a6, we can come back with queen to the f1. But queen goes to this square, then we will not be able to come back in this case. How will you play in this position? So which move to play in this position? Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. Okay. Queen b5 you want to play. Well, queen b5 is also possibility, but I think if yeah, if you want to put more pressure on the d7 square, then queen b5 is definitely a possibility. Mayur, you are also right. Krishna, you are also right about this thing with the your. But yes, Anish, you are also right about this thing. But there is also one possibility. One minute. Sorry, guys, I'm having a little bit cold. Queen c8, but didn't calculate variation completely. Let me try. Queen c8. But okay, you want to play queen c8 in this position? Uh, but don't you think so that I can just capture your queen? Because if you capture here, then I'll play knight f8. I don't think so. Queen c8 is a good move. Okay, you are saying rook into d7, rook into d7, and then queen c8. But in that case, if you play this move, then yeah, it is also a possibility in this case. If rook d8, then obviously knight c6 is a good move, and then we will capture on e7. If we capture, then we will win the piece with the four. But guys, you are going for the too much sacrifices. I will suggest you one thing, okay? You should always try to play in a simplest way, okay? That is the sign of a good player. When you have multiple ways of winning the game, okay? When you have multiple ways to winning the game, then you should find out a way in which you can win the game in the simplest of form. You should not complicate the things. Because okay, in this case it is very straightforward, but sometimes what happens, the situation will not be like this. It might be more complicated, and if you have two options in the position, going for the simpler way and going for the complicated way and still win the game, okay, both the possibilities are out there, and in both the possibilities you can win the game, then always choose the simpler one, okay, because when you play the simpler one, the probability of making the mistake will be very less. So in this case, I will say the simplest variation which I can see is just play knight to the c6 in this position, because if we play knight to the c6, we are attacking the queen, plus we are attacking the rook also in this case. And what is he play going to play? Okay, knight c6 also, or your variation which you suggested, queen b5 is also which I will play. But if you play something like rook into d7 or queen to the c8, this kind of two moves which you suggested, I did not really would like to play that those moves. Although it might be possible, I'm not denying that your moves are not possible. But the thing is that by playing such moves, you are giving some kind of hope for your opponent to be back in the game. And when you go for too much of complications, then the mistakes might happen. So always try to find out the simplest way. Okay. So queen b5 I will consider is the best move in this position, and white should win the piece in this case because the d7 knight will be lost. So guys, you are right about this thing. But what happened? He did not play queen e7 in the game. Black played knight to the b8 in the game because he understood that playing queen e7 will lose the piece. So now he is attacking the queen on a6 plus the knight on c6, and both the pieces will not be defended in this case. So white played rook into d6, and then knight into a6 happened, and he is going to capture the pawn on d5. That is the case. But okay, if you can capture the pawn on d5, definitely there is nothing very big in this thing. But if you capture the pawn on d5, then black will get the c5. Okay, and white was a player who was very cool minded. He saw, yes, rook d7, yes, it's there. Okay, so here in this case, white did not wanted to give the c file for his opponent because he is already pawn up. He is going to get the pawn on d5 anyhow because the pawn on d5 is a very weak pawn. So he played knight to the c6 in this position because now rook c8 is stopped indirectly because white will be playing knight e7 check, forking the rook in this case. So black cannot take advantage of any open file in this case. Okay, okay. So where you are asking people to flag me. I think I need to play more faster next time so that people will not be able to flag me. Yeah, but guys, definitely I might be streaming at night once or twice in a week where I will be playing against the subscribers. Whoever will come there, I will play against each and every one of you. Okay, so do subscribe and we will be having more fun in that stream. Okay. I will be playing in chess.com most probably because I like chess.com's platform. Okay, now this position is almost good for white. I will just go through the moves. I will not explain too much because we have reached to the position where we have taken the advantage. Okay, well, usually when I play Indian Standard Time 11 or 11:30. I come online, and after that I play for 1 hour, 1 hour or something like that. Okay. And if I increase more subscribers, if you guys are also interested, I will keep one tournament for you. That is the subscribers tournament. Only subscribers will be allowed to play in that tournament. Or maybe we can do something else also. Yes, definitely. After PM, I will be playing at night, mostly about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. I will be playing. But I do that only once or twice in a week. And I publish about it. So don't worry, whenever I am going to play, I will publish beforehand. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. So here I will just go through the moves because next few moves are easy ones. So black played g6. He wants to create some space for his king so that there will not be back rank checkmate. Knight to the a7 was played by white because he's got another pawn in this case. Then black played rook to the a8. The knight came back to the g7, and you can see that white is 2 pawns up. The next d5 pawn is also a weakness. b6 pawn is also a weakness. So black is just going down in this position. They played on some moves. a3 was played, and he played g4, knight c6. Now white is going after the d5 pawn. He played this move. Him or us are going to participate in a no increment tournament. They play with no increment for practice. Okay, Rajendra sir, I stay in two places. Means I have houses in two places, like in Mumbai also and in Pune also. So you can say that I am in Mumbai and Pune. And when I am not staying anywhere, I will be just playing the tournaments. But now the tournaments are not happening, so we can say that I am at home. Okay. Okay, fine. So knight into d5 was played by white. Yeah, to be, I will try today. Let's see. I am very busy today, so if I'm not tired, then I will definitely play at night. So rook c8, knight into b6, and white has plenty of pawns, and the game ended in just few moves in this case. So I hope you understood from this game like how to take advantage of your opponent weakness. In this case, the weakness was on the c file, correct? Okay, let's go to the next game and try to find out what is there. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm going to the next game. Okay, this is the new game now, new position, and here white started with d4 move. Okay, yeah. Okay, d4. Can you see the new? Yeah, d4. Black played d5. White played c4. Then e6 was played by black. Then knight to the c3, knight to the f6, then bishop to the g5, and knight bd7 in this case. So white player played e3 in this case, and then c6, and after that white played a3 move. Okay, a3 is a okay move, because what a3 is doing is like, first of all, we are stopping this bishop to the b4 in this case, and another thing is that if it's possible for us, we will be playing d4 in future. Okay, so black played bishop to the e7, unpinning the knight on f6. Then queen c2 was played by white. White is developing pieces as much as possible. Okay, as like in the previous example we saw, bishop is not developed yet, because whenever you play the bishop, black will be very happy to capture on c4, and after bishop into c4 we will be forced to move lose the move. Okay, we can play this move, but I will suggest you that before playing bishop's move, try to develop other pieces if it's possible for you. So queen c2 was played to put queen on this diagonal also, and if in case the file gets opened up, then the queen also be very well placed on the c file. So black castled in this position, and again white is waiting. He is not playing the bishop. He played knight to the f3, because we can wait for our bishop's move in this case. Okay, no, it is not Leningrad exactly, but you can say that this is the queen's gambit declined variation. Okay, yeah. So black played a6 in this position, and again white will wait before playing bishop to the d3 or bishop to the e2. Which move will you play, which will help your development in this case? Can you tell me? Long castle, no, I don't think so. Long castle is that much. Okay, long castle is possible. I'm not saying like it is not possible, but long castle seems to be a little bit risky, because black is already developed. He can even start with d into c4. If he's long castle, then d into c4, bishop into c4, and black is well in time to go for this kind of breaks, and your king will be little bit exposed in that case. So black will be happy, I will say, if you long castle. Okay, but if you want to play in a risky way, then obviously you can play long castle, but I will not suggest that thing to anyone. Okay, so becomes totally different. Yeah, mostly QGD. Yes, it's a QGD. Yes, rook c1 and rook to the d1, both the moves are possible from white side. You can play rook to the c1, suppose like putting the rook on this file, or you can play rook to the d1. In this case, this is also a possibility. Correct. And in the game, rook to the d1 was played by white. Black played rook to the e8. And now finally, as everything is already developed, white finally developed his bishop to the d3. Okay, this is how you should go step by step. If you can wait for some move, wait for it. Before that, develop other pieces. Okay. So here black played d into c4, bishop into c4, and b5 was played. And now white played bishop to the d3, attacking the pawn on h7. And black was very quick. Black played h6. He removed that attack. He played h6, and now he is attacking the bishop on g5. So here, white decided to capture the knight on f6, knight into f6, and then castles. Obviously, instead of capturing on f6, white had the chance to play bishop h4. There is nothing wrong with bishop to the. It is just your choice. Sometimes you like to exchange pieces, sometimes you like to keep the pieces on the board. So he played bishop into f6, knight into f6, and castle. So here black played bishop to the b7. Now, as you can see in this position, whenever this pawn is there, the pawn on c6 is there, we say that this pawn on c6 is backward pawn. Well, why backward pawn is like because there is no other pawn on b7 or d7 which is supporting this pawn. And this pawn, although it is connected to this group, but this pawn is behind, right? And there is no other point, or you can say there is no other friend also for this pawn which is supporting this pawn. And it is not so easy for black to push the pawn also. So whenever our pawn is there and it is a little bit restricted, we say that the pawn is backward. And whenever your opponent is having any backward pawn, we should try to keep that pawn on that square. And in this case, if you keep the pawn on c6 square, then the bishop on b7 will not come in the game so easily. So my question is like, how will you stop this pawn on c6 from moving to the c5 square? How will you stop this c5 move? Which move will you play in this case? White to place there. Okay. Yeah. So which move will you play so that you can stop the break like c5 move? Now you can understand the backward pawns are usually weak, and the pieces, usually the bishop which is behind the backward pawn, is also very restricted. So if you stop the backward pawn, like the pawn on c6, then the bishop will not come in the game. Yeah, there are two options you can play. One is like b4 you can play, or you can play knight to the e4. Well, if you play b4, there is one possibility is there that black might play a5 in this case, and he might proceed with this. But I will suggest that b4 is also here. b4 is definitely one of the possibilities, but it will give black chance to play a5, and the b4 pawn will also be attacked by the bishop. So I will suggest that playing instead of playing b4, first play knight to the e4 and exchange this piece. And if you exchange this piece, then we will be attacking pawn on c6 more with more like vigor. Or if it doesn't capture on e4 in this case, then white always have this knight to the c5 move, and then if the knight sits on c5 square, then obviously the pawn will not move forward. If the pawn is not moving forward, the bishop will not come in the game, and that will be very, very good for you. So that's why knight e4 is a good move here. Yes, definitely. You are right about this thing. So black in this position played knight into e4, bishop into e4, and then black thought, okay, my pawn on c6 is weak. This bishop is there, so I should remove this bishop from the e4 square. That's why he played f5. But by playing f5 move, he has created a slight weakness on the e6 square in this case. And e6 is a weakness, plus the knight on f3 can always jump to the e5 square, and there will not be any other pawn which will be dislodging this knight. And as I was mentioning earlier, rooks belong to the open files, the bishop belong to the open diagonals, and knight belong to the outpost. So e file will be a very good outpost for the knight in the coming future. So here bishop d3 is obviously the only move, and yes, correct guys, you are right about this thing. Black played queen to the b6 in this case, and now what will you play? Which move will you play in this case? which move will you play from white side? The rook's job is done on the d1 square, and your opponent is trying to play c5. So you need to take care of that c5 move. So which move will you play in this case? Yes, you should play rook to the c1 so that you will cover the c5 square, right? You will not allow your opponent to play c5 very easily in this case. So rook c1 is played, black played rook a c8, and now finally he wants to play c5. And here again, I will ask you, how will you stop him from playing c5? Because if the pawn is stopped, the bishop will not come in the game. Yes, Anish, you are right about that thing. So which move will you play so that you will not allow your opponent to play c5 move here? Knight e5, definitely it's a possibility. Knight e5 you can play, but knight e5 if you play, then black will be very happy to play c5 in this case. You are not stopping c5. My question is very specific, like how will you stop c5? Because if you stop c5, then his bishop will not come. And after, let's suppose b4 is the best move. Yes, definitely b4 is the best move. But if you play knight e5, this kind of move, then black will play c5, and this bishop which was not active, the bishops will be active in that case, and black will be very comfortable in that case. I'm not saying that black is winning, but black will be very comfortable. Okay. Okay. So here knight e5, c5 you are suggesting, and then you are suggesting knight to the d7. But knight to the d7 will be a big blunder. As I mentioned, this bishop is attacking on this diagonal. Black can simply play queen to the c6, and then we will be attacking g2 pawn, which is a check and mate, and we will be attacking the knight on d7, and white cannot really defend both the things. It will be a double attack. So most probably you will save the checkmate, isn't it? So after f3, white will lose the piece on d7. Okay. c5, queen to the b3 mantrala, you should not play because c5 will be allowed in that case, because queen on b6 is supporting the pawn on e6. So c5 will be played, and okay, because one more thing is like white wanted to play b4, and he doesn't want to place the queen here on b3 before playing b4. So first of all he might play b4, and then he, if it needed, he will go for the queen to the b3. Okay. So okay, black played as the c pawn is no longer going to be forwarded, because whenever he pushes the pawn he will lose the pawn, and you can see that the pawn on c6 is now fixed, right? And the weakness is fixed. And another thing is, because of this pawn, the bishop on b7 is bad. One more thing is that bishop cannot really come out from other diagonal also. If you pay attention to the pawns, then black's pawns are on the light squares, right? And this bishop on light square cannot come out so easily. So it is also very important to know this thing, that whenever you are placing your pawns, try to place your pawns on the opposite color of your bishop, so that your bishop will have some scope to go around. Okay. Okay, nice for you. That's a nice thing that Sagar is going to take class on Karokan, because I know Sagar has played Karokan quite extensively, and he has won against many good players in Karokan. So it will be a good session. Okay, queen to the d8 was played by black, and then finally it's time to bring your knight in the center of the board. That is knight to the e5, and now we are further attacking the pawn on c6 here, and the knight is also very well placed here. So black played a5, attacking the pawn on b4. So white should play queen to the b3, supporting the pawn on b4 here, and he played bishop to the d6. And can you tell me what is wrong with bishop to the d6? This move looks to me a little bit wrong. Can you find out where? There is something wrong with this move. Guys, tell me if you can see. Yes, bishop into f5 we can play, because if you play bishop into f5, the pawn cannot capture here because there is a pin on this diagonal. Correct? So bishop into f5 was played by white. Then black played queen to the f6 because he thought, okay, he is going to get back the pawn here. He is right about that thing, but by playing like this, now you have opened up this b1 to h7 diagonal, and it will help you for definite reasons, because after bishop into e5, d into e5, queen into e5, white played rook to the c5, attacking the queen on here, and once the rook comes on this square, it is a dark square, and the pawn will never be able to push on c5, and the bishop will not come in the game so easily. So you can say that black is actually playing like a piece down in this position. Here black played a4 attacking the queen. Obviously we will not capture here. He played queen to the a2, then black played queen to the d2, d6, and now finally queen to the c2 was played. Now white is threatening queen h7 check because of this bishop is there. And whenever the bishop and queen are lined in the same diagonal, we call it battery. Okay. And now it is almost going to get over. Black played rook c d8, and now white played queen h7 check, king to the f8. And now can you tell me the final move of this game? After that, black thought, okay, this position is almost over for him, and he resigned. Can you tell me a good move from white side? Yes, correct. Shriraj, you are right about this thing. Guys, if you have any other opinions, please do let me know. I'm waiting for your answer. More powerful than the mobile battery. Yeah, Anish, you are suggesting bishop a2, but I think like it's more important for you to play bishop to the g6. Another natural move which I see in this position is queen to the h8. But if you play queen to the h8, then black will just play king to the f7, and your queen is also being attacked, and you don't have any good checks after that. Yeah, bishop to the a2 move, maybe it's possible, but in that case I might play rook to the e7, because if you play rook to the f5 in this case, then I can run away with king e8 and then king here, and we are supporting the pawn on g7 also. So don't allow your opponent to run away. That is the main thing. That's why we should play bishop to the g6 in this case. Now we are attacking the rook, and another thing is that if the rook is played here, then we will be checkmating him like queen into queen to the h8, because we are controlling this square also. And if he tries to just give up the piece, if he plays king to the e7, that will also not help black, because we will checkmate with queen to the g7, and it will be a check and mate. So just by playing bishop to the g6, we will cover lots of squares around black's king, and he is almost in a very hopeless position in this case. So I think bishop to the g6 should be the best move in this position, and that's what happened, and black resigned in this game. So before we end up our class, can you tell me what did you learn from this game? What did you find interesting about this game? Let me know in chat section, so that I will also understand that it was something instructive also, and it was useful also. So I will wait for your answer. At least tell me one or two points which you like about this game. Okay. Yeah, future GM, you are late. We are almost going to end the class now. Guys, let me know what was Black's mistake in this game. Well, Black's mistake in this game was like he did not play c5, and he delayed his development. That was the main problem for him. King was also weak. Never place your pawns on the same color square as the bishop. Yes, Krishna, that is right. King is weak. Mayur learned that the rook on c1, queen on e2, hence bishop on d3. Okay, to play bishop d3 at last developing move since it will be two consecutive moves. Yes, you should, if it's possible for you, then delay the development of one piece and in that meantime develop other pieces. Always try to bring new pieces. That is the main concept. Definitely. And one more thing is that in this game we can see that the pawn on c6 was weak pawn and white never allowed to release the tension. Like it is little bit difficult. Maybe if you are a beginner then you will find it difficult. But if you understand one simple thing, that whenever you have a bishop, try to place your pawns on the opposite color of your bishop. Then your bishops will be opened up. And as I mentioned earlier, rooks belong to the. Okay, what was the main theme? Can you tell me if you have remembered this thing? Rook belongs to what? Rook belongs to what? We should capture weakness square of our opponent. Yes, it was about the weak. Can you tell me what was it? Rook belongs to what? Bishop belongs to what? And knight belongs to what? Can you tell me? Because in this game also we did the same thing in the previous game also yesterday. Okay, that's good. Rook belongs to open files. Yes, correct, Shuraj. Shuraj. Rook on the open file, bishop on the diagonals, and knight out first. Rook, yes, definitely. So knight belong to the close position. Open files. Yes, correct. Harsh, you are also right about this thing. Definitely. Correct. And we should remember these things whenever we are playing any game, okay? Always try to put your rooks on the open files. Bishop should have open diagonals. In this game, the bishop on b7 was very, very cramped because of his own pawns. So try to put your pieces at such a square. From there, they will be having some kind of future. Okay. Like in this game, the bishop was very well placed because it was having some scope. Okay. Today, I don't think so. I will be having late night stream because I am too much busy today. I have some classes, personal classes are there, and they are at night, so it seems to be difficult. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. We will meet once again at 6:30 p.m. today. So do join my stream at 6:30. It will be related to a little bit interesting concept related to the middle game. So see you then. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll take your leave. Okay. Thank you very much. And share my channel with your friends. Do subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed. And I have given the donation links also. If you appreciate, then donations with love are always welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Okay. Thank you very much everyone. Harsh, thank you for joining everyone. Okay. Bye.